Good evening, it's March 14th, 2025, and it's time for my second set of devotionals. Won't you join me? And celebrate recovery, healing from hurts, habits, and hang-ups. Day 73. My mind told me. Since then you have been raised with Christ, set your hearts on things above, where Christ is seated at the right hand of God. Set your mind on things above, not on earthly things. For you died, and your life is now hidden with Christ in God. When Christ, who is your life, appears, then you will also appear with him in glory. Colossians 3:1-4. Our daughter came over with one of our grandsons in tow and asked to borrow a pair of tweezers. She needed to remove a piece of paper our grandson had rolled up and stuck in his ear. When asked why he did such a thing, he answered, "My mind told me to." Wow, at 6 years of age, his mind is already suggesting things that are definitely not in his best interest. Frankly, that's why most of us are in recovery. We are losing the battle that goes on between our ears. We haven't learned to make the right choice when our minds are in conflict with our hearts. We learn that lesson only by listening to God, reading His Word, filling our minds with things that are good, positive, and beneficial. Of course, it's still a battle. It will always be a battle. But it's a battle we are sure to win if we trained our minds to know when something doesn't line up with God's principles. I can't lie. My mind still tells me to do stuff. It's just that now I know when to listen and when to just say no. Prayer. Father, you are always looking out for me, always showing me the right way to go. Thank you for loving me with such a great and amazing love. In Jesus' name, amen. And in my quiet time devotional, Day 73, Radical Commitment. As the time drew near for him to ascend to heaven, Jesus resolutely set out for Jerusalem. Luke 9:51. Many students of Luke's Gospel see this verse as the pivotal point of the whole narrative. Up to now, Jesus had cast the net wide, and the range of his followers ran the gamut from the curious to the committed. Thousands came to enjoy stimulating discourse, the visceral thrill of the miraculous, and sometimes even a free meal. But Jesus sifted through the varying responses to his ministry, asking his disciple, "Who do people say I am? Who do you say I am?" Luke 9:18-20. Then suddenly he began to raise deliberate hurdles before those who claimed they wanted to follow him. To superficial would-be disciples, he warned them that this was going to be no walk in the park. He pointedly predicted that his followers would be rejected by some to whom he would send them. He spoke repeatedly of his own imminent sufferings and death, and of the parallel necessity of his disciples to shoulder their crosses and give up their lives to follow him. And to all, Jesus manifested a single-minded purposefulness to march to Jerusalem to fulfill his destiny. From this point on, there was no turning back, either for the Messiah or for those who would follow him. Are you ready for this? Can you set your face resolutely to fulfill your calling as Jesus did? It took a long time in my life, but I'm fortunate now that my mind has told me that radical commitment to Christ is the best and only way to go. I hope that you have a blessed night.